Let's go! Thank you, Mr. Dave Matthews Band. What's up, unit? Hopefully you guys are crushing out this weekend. BC's got about 20 to 25 minutes on this early Sunday afternoon. So I said rather than regroup, let's go to the coffee bar, chug some coffee, and talk some pro wrestling, man. And because I only have 20 to 25 minutes, it's only a couple of stories, but these are big. I assure you, we're going to talk WWE, AEW. If you ever wondered why there's this tribalism in the pro wrestling world, especially with WWE and AEW, well, you can look no further than the companies themselves, who continue to throw potty shots at one another. WWE recently doing what AEW looks at as some shady business. Tony Khan doubling down on a claim that WWE is tampering with his talents. We'll go over all of it coming up in this upload. And the Hurt Business back in business. Has the Hurt Business been resurrected already? Bobby Lashley, MVP. Their contracts just expired with WWE. But wait till you hear what has just been filed. So we're going to talk all of that. BC's already on like his 8th coffee. So as you can tell, I'm amped up. And I said, if we're going to jam out pre-upload with a little bit of Dave Matthews, I said, let's let the whole unit jam out with BC as we get ready, as we pump out a coffee from the Amplified Monster 5000 coffee machine. As we set up the microphone, let's let the unit party with BC. So that's what we did for the cold open. That's it. Now we got to jump right into it. Let me get another swig if you don't mind. And then we'll start with, where do you want to start? WWE, AEW, I guess, right? No. Let's go. Let's save that. Let's go Hurt Business resurrected. Let's do that, unit. Ow! So damn strong, but so damn good. Let's jump right into it, man. New trademark filing was registered for the Hurt Syndicate. The Hurt Syndicate, the company that filed for the trademark, is not World Wrestling Entertainment. It is Harmless Concept LLC. And if that sounds familiar, this is the same company that recently filed for trademarks on MVP, the letters MVP, and Ghetto Strong Style. Of course, this was MVP's slogan back in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, more teases, right when Bobby Lashley and MVP were removed from the main roster page, put into the alumni section, confirming that they and WWE have parted ways. Immediately after, Bobby Lashley, or MVP, posted up a photo of him and Lashley, and it was with an emoji with the sunglasses, right? Like the future is bright ahead. But Bobby Lashley was posted right after that on MVP's page. Before that, many photos with Shelton Benjamin. And now a new filing, the Hurt Syndicate. So that tells us, because this has been a huge conversation this last week especially, right? Knowing that their contract was about to expire. And unless Hunter Hearst Helmsley really extends an olive branch, it doesn't look like a new deal is going to get done. Sure enough, we just found out a couple days ago, it did not get done. Hunter just let him walk, contract expired, and he just washed his hands with him, right? But we all knew, it just felt like there was more business to be conducted within the Hurt Business. Vince McMahon took it away too soon. And then Hunter Hearst Helmsley could have resurrected it, right? MVP went to him many times, he said, with ideas. Hunter didn't want to hear it. Bobby Lashley tried to back up MVP. What if we did this and that? Hunter didn't want to hear it. And for some reason, Helmsley just oddly turned the Street Profits from faces to heels. And when that fell flat on its face, the Profits just as awkwardly turned back to faces. Snap of a finger. No real explanation. So it always felt like it was taken away too soon, the Hurt Business, and there was more to be conducted. Now so it looks like with all of these teases and now an official trademark. I mean, this is for merchandise and entertainment purposes. So guys, if you're going to sell merchandise that says Hurt Syndicate, and we don't know what the Hurt Syndicate represents, right? This is where we know it's going to be a faction of the Hurt Business in some way, right? We think Shelton, Bobby, and MVP. Cedric's still under contract with WWE. I believe he's wrestling on Speed or NXT or just sitting at catering waiting for the next triple-layered moose cake. But Cedric, whether you knew it or not, is actually still a part of WWE somehow. But we believe this is going to be Shelton, MVP, Bobby Lashley. But you wouldn't be selling merchandise that says Hurt Syndicate unless you were coming back as a full throttle faction. Get fans interested, talking about the Hurt Syndicate, and then they want to buy your merchandise. So we do believe that this is the beginning of the resurrection of the Hurt business under the new moniker, the new name, Hurt Syndicate. Now, the question is, will it work? Is just parading the same individuals out there with sort of the same name, does it hold the same substance, or is it just a bootleg? Not quite up there with the new bloodline under Solo Sikoa as the leader. Maybe not quite to that bootleg standard. But is this just a Dollar General version of the Hurt business? It all depends on the booking of it, how it's conducted, right? Because this could fall flat on its face. Mercedes Moné, right? When she showed up to AEW, everybody gave it a chance because it's Sasha Banks. It's Mercedes, one of the best female wrestlers on the planet. Nearly, if not everybody's best match is Mercedes. But if there's no good booking behind it, if people don't care about what she's doing, she could win 100 titles. If nobody cares, it's going to fall flat on its face. Mercedes Moné in AEW, if you listen to AEW fans themselves, they're telling you Mercedes Moné in AEW is nothing close to a Sasha Banks in WWE in terms of presence and feeling something, being captivated by what she's doing. It has a lot to do with name, first of all. And if the booking isn't backing it up, it's going to fall flat on its face. And that's what's happening kind of with Mercedes, unfortunately. This is a massive, huge Mercedes Moné channel, right? We prop up Sasha Banks Mercedes because we know how good she is, but it's not connecting the same. Is the Hurt Syndicate going to be the same thing? Are they going to show up and we have so much respect for Bobby, so much respect for MVP and Shelton, and we want to see the best for them? We know there's more unfinished business with them, but are they going to show up and it's just goofy? It's not hitting the same. It's kind of sad. It's depressing. It's almost like, guys, it ain't working. Just split up because you got nothing. It's not hitting. So from the jump, if they're going to do this, it has to be done correctly. You have to, from the jump, you only get one chance at a first impression. From the jump, wherever they show up, it has to be impactful. You're never going to get something like Scott Hall and Kevin Nash showing up to WCW as outsiders from WWE, right? Starting the NWO. You're never going to go to that level. That was a masterclass 101 that not even Eric Bischoff knew he was conducting, or how big that was going to get. But you do have to make a splash along the same lines. Hurt Syndicate, if this is going to work, has to make that splash from day one, moment one. One chance at a first impression. You can't screw this up. That's the news I got for you there, man. New trademark filing. And it's the same people that have been working for MVP, Harmless Concept, LLC, Hurt Syndicate. We cannot confirm that it's for the resurrection of Hurt business, but we're pretty much drawing that line, that straight line to the Hurt business. We'll see. Also, this is big, man. Tick for tat with WWE and AEW. You talk about why there's tribalism in the pro wrestling world. Well, a lot of it starts with the companies themselves. And WWE recently, had to get another. It's a good coffee, man. Had to get another swig. WWE recently, they announced a massive live event show on December 28th. Their holiday tour, which is right around Christmas, right after Christmas. They usually go to like Madison Square Garden, New York City, Chicago, and all of a sudden, Orlando this year on December 28th. Very odd, but okay. Orlando. That's a Grand Central Station for WWE. It's around the holidays. They want people to be close by. Cool. Guys, December 28th, it's the same exact night that AEW is holding their big event, World's End, December 28th. WWE is holding their event in Orlando on the 28th of December at the Kia Center. AEW's World's End is at the Edition Financial Arena in Orlando, 14 miles apart from WWE's live event. AEW had announced this way in advance. WWE has just announced it. Now you say, right, there's many ways you go with BC. There's no way that they could have known that. They're conducting their own business. They don't make decisions based on what AEW is doing. Totally agree. Absolutely. But you have to know how business is being conducted. None of these decisions get made without knowing what is going on the same time in that town or city and what is going on if it's a live event that is televised, like a Raw or a SmackDown. What's on TV on that night? What are other networks airing? What other big sports are holding a big event? And what I mean by that is like a Monday Night Raw. They know a year in advance, they know when the Final Four will be, or roughly the time frame. And the second that they announce the Final Four schedule, WWE has to make the necessary changes or know when they have to book certain things, right? Because it is the Final Four, it's the whole tournament is going to affect Raw in one way or the other. Or if it's the Super Bowl, you know not to put a pay-per-view, a premium live event on the same night of the Super Bowl, right? Things like that. But playoffs are going to affect things. NHL, MLB, NBA, doesn't matter. Award shows, guys. Something little like that, they will know way in advance. And if alterations need to be made, they will make them. So they know before anything is announced, they look at all avenues first. If you think for 1 second that when they were discussing Orlando on the 28th, that they didn't know that 14 miles away AEW was running an event, that's BS. They literally pay people to know that, to do the research. What is happening in Orlando on that night? Because that'll affect your ticket sales. If you have a Taylor Swift concert on that same night, across town, you got, I don't know, Justin Timberlake and the return of NSYNC. I'm trying to think teeny boppers, man. What would they all, go see and bring their families out to? Drag their parents. Right. I mean, that's taken up a huge chunk, because who goes to these live events? A lot of the families, a lot of the kids, right? Well, you got Taylor Swift, you got NSYNC's return over here. That's going to affect, right? You might not want to hold an event in Orlando on the 28th. They pay people to do this research. If you think nobody went to Nick Khan or an HHH or anybody in WWE and said, oh, by the way, literally just over 10 miles down the road, AEW's holding their pay-per-view. If you think they didn't know that, absolutely not. That's not how business is conducted. So then you go, well, BC, even if they found out, okay, they're not going to change things. They're still going to do business for them. No question. Nobody's saying if this is right or wrong. That's for you to decide. That's the eye of the beholder. That's your prerogative. I am saying that is a ballsy move to know AEW's 10 miles down the road, 14 miles, with their pay-per-view, and say, we're the bigger kid on the block, we're coming 14 miles away, and we're getting tickets sold. We're going to sell more. We're going to take your audience that was going to go see your show, we're going to take them. Because that's just what we want to do. They absolutely could have just moved that date for Orlando, right? Later that week, maybe the next week. Just go a different date. Maybe head over to Jacksonville. Go to AEW's territory, but they're in Orlando, so switch it back. No, this is Hunter Hearst Helmsley and WWE going, no, Orlando is our base. They're coming to Orlando. Stay in Jacksonville. You're coming to Orlando. We want to hold an event on the 28th, so guess what? We're going to hold an event on the 28th. You do your business, we'll do ours, we'll get more people. That's what this is going to be a battle of people. You guys know that. Everything that Tony Khan and Paul Levesque McMahon, Hunter Hearst Helmsley does, it's tick for tack. They honestly just don't like one another. So they're going to, it's like when NXT goes against AEW or vice versa, right? You remember the last time they went against each other? You remember what Hunter did? He sent Shawn Michaels a plethora of main roster talents, and they just barely, but they did, beat AEW in the ratings. This time around, they're about to face each other in October, early October. And because it's the big switch to CW, they already got CM Punk, I think, is the first week. And then they got Randy Orton coming. And then other main roster talents are supposed to follow to go against AEW when they go head-to-head in October. I think it's the 8th. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to stack the card so they can obviously take the ratings from AEW. Smart business, I get it. But Hunter's making sure that Shawn is stacked with his main roster talent to go against AEW. This is one of those things where they're not going to want to be outsold. I don't care if it's a live event or not. They don't want to be outsold by World's End. They don't want to be 14 miles away and know that AEW outsold them. So they're going to stack that Orlando card. And it's going to continue to be tick for tack. It's going to continue to be a little bit of a mini war between the two, which is a small microcosm of totality, which is the bigger war, WWE and AEW. And then fans are going to act accordingly. And then everybody's going to go, why is there tribalism? Because you have these little business moves being made. And I'll go a step further. You guys hear this one? You guys hear what AEW President Tony Khan recently just said on the Dan Le Batard show, I believe it's called. Le-Batard, maybe it's all one word. I think it's a podcast. But either way, Tony Khan says that he believes, this is just recently, this is not the story from several months ago, guys. New story. Tony Khan believes that WWE is still engaged in contract tampering with wrestlers on his roster. So Tony Khan has just recently doubled down. He still believes WWE is tampering in one way or the other. You gotta believe it's little things too, not just like Hunter Hearst Helmsley is talking to his roster, but little things like Jade Cargill having dinner with her good friend, by the way, Ricky Starks. They are very good friends. All, by the way, it's a common denominator, Cody Rhodes, right? Ethan Page, Shawn Spears, Jade Cargill, Ricky Starks. You notice all of Cody's people. It's forming Cody's club in WWE. Spears made the jump from AEW to WWE. Ethan Page made the jump, AEW to WWE. Jade Cargill made the jump, AEW to WWE. And we believe Ricky Starks is imminently going to make his jump when his contract expires. But we believe it could be little things like that where Jade is at dinner and she posts a picture of Ricky Starks. And with just the caption just read cheers, right? Cheers is usually it's celebration, right? Here's to the night. Here's to the future. So everyone's like, cheers. And they know the rumors going around that Ricky Starks is not quite happy in AEW. Even though Jade recently in an upload said, I would love to have him in WWE, but he's happy doing what he's doing. But Ricky Starks has expressed that he's not happy. Tony Khan has expressed that they just can't see eye to eye, which is why he's not on TV regularly. So this is one of those situations where it's best maybe if they part ways. And I think Ricky Starks has wanted to do that for a while. But having dinner with a big star like Jade Cargill from WWE, even knowing they're friends, with the caption cheers and Ricky with that shit-eating grin, you know, it's little things like that where you gotta be talking some business, right? I mean, so what do you want to talk about? So, when are you coming to join us? Cody's here, Ethan's here, I'm here, right? Our friend circle has to be complete. You need to get over here. So I don't think, you know, when Tony Khan sees that photo of Jade Cargill posting it up with Ricky Starks, I don't think he's just seeing two good friends at dinner. He's going, what the fuck, man? Because this is after the security footage of Ricky Starks backstage in WWE supporting his friend Cody Rhodes. I think that was the Rumble or WrestleMania, one of the two. And the security footage, you know, and he's back there rubbing shoulders and talking with all the suits and the executives. And then you're not seeing eye to eye to him with him in your company, and you're the one paying him. And you're seeing all these things. Ricky Starks has pretty much got one foot in WWE. I'm just using Ricky Starks as an example, by the way. I can speak as an example. But I think Tony Khan is hearing a lot of things, you know, and you never know. That meeting with Shane McMahon, Shane is not quite fond of Hunter Hearst Helmsley and vice versa. Shane never felt the same way about Hunter that a lot of other individuals have. And Shane does not kind of hide that. So that's why Shane has no shame in having a meeting with Tony Khan behind his own sister and brother-in-law's back, because he doesn't care, man. He doesn't want to work for Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And who knows what Shane is telling Tony Khan, you know? You never know. It's probably like, you know, that Hunter, he's shady. But he's hearing a lot of things. Tony Khan has said that many times. He has a plethora of people coming up to him and going, WWE is trying in a roundabout way to reach out. Jericho was one of them. We know that. Jericho is that. He's tied at the hip with Tony Khan. So Jericho was the first one to really rat out Hunter Hearst Helmsley and the methods from WWE, and that really sparked this rage within Tony Khan. But you gotta wonder, like, who else is telling him this? Because Tony Khan recently has doubled down, and he says he still believes WWE is tampering with his wrestlers. And of course, that's very highly illegal. But unless he can prove it, it's just he said, she said. Wild, man. So if WWE is going to do something like that, we're going to take your pay-per-view audience in 14 miles down the road, we're going to take them. We're going to create a little mini war on that night. Good luck with that pay-per-view. And if Tony Khan is going to say that company continues to screw with my wrestlers, that friction is going to leak out to the fans, and then people are going to go, why is there tribalism? Well, the companies are taking the body shots. Unreal, man. So that's what I got for you, man. It's interesting, though, right? So we'll see what develops on October, is it 8th? That's when AEW switches nights to Tuesday because of the MLB playoffs. And that's where AEW goes head-to-head with NXT. We'll see what Hunter Hearst Helmsley does for Shawn Michaels. Does he stack the card again with the main roster talent? And we'll also see December 28th, because something tells me that is going to be like a show from New York City or Chicago, but it's Orlando. But because 14 miles away, AEW has that pay-per-view, something tells me it's going to be massive. That's what I got for you guys. I'm going to down this coffee. I got a lot to rock out, man. I'm glad I could stop by the coffee bar, though. BC's fully amped. You guys rock out the rest of the weekend. And we'll start a whole new week tomorrow, man. Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. Hopefully it's big. We're only a couple weeks less than from Bash in Berlin. Monday Night Raw has to pick it up. Until next time, that will be that next time. BC in the unit saying check you. Peace.